And then I just stopped and I just wrote one word on the page and I just said freedom.
Oh.
And I closed the book. And I thought, this is really the theme for this year, is kind of this spaciousness where I don't have to decide. But I've been really focusing on presence and spaciousness and sort of handling the things that are right in front of me.
Here with Karen Rohlf, right here for a little 2026 inspiration.
So Karen, what lessons did you learn in 2025, maybe about horses, riding, about yourself, about life?
Yeah, horses, riding, myself, life.
Everything.
It's all, luckily it all sort of comes back to the same thing for all those categories. But with horses, this year has really been about the relationship with horses. That it's all about relationship. And yeah, we need techniques and stuff, but the relationship with, me as I am in this moment, looking at this horse in this moment, on this day, and, all the skills you have don't matter if you're not really relating to the actual being in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And their relationship with us will change how everything that we do is. So I've been really trying to drop into that, and
Mm-hmm.
not just riding horses, but riding this horse, and not just this horse, but this horse in this moment today.
Mm-hmm.
And how are we relating?
That's
So I don't know if I learned, the lesson is I need to think about it more. I don't know if I have the answer, but I know it's important.
So did you learn something like, sometimes what I think a relationship is maybe what another person
Mm-hmm.
thinks. Meaning, did you kind of learn lessons about like the quality of a relationship, or like what's one thing that you've really changed in, because we have relationships with all kinds of people, but they're different grades or different kinds, you know what I mean?
No, and it's because I think when there's a lot of talk now about like relationship-based horsemanship.
Yes.
But a lot of times what I hear being described still feels like nice ways to manipulate the horse into doing what you want. It still feels transactional.
Yes.
And to me, a good relationship is not transactional. It's where you actually care about the other and you honor the other's opinions as equal.
Yes.
And this is where it really gets difficult for humans who have goals and
Mm-hmm.
want to do stuff. And so I think this is really interesting as somebody myself who both wants to have a deep relationship with my horses where I honor them
Mm-hmm.
and what they're telling me, and I'd like to do some stuff and progress their training.
Yes.
That's where it gets really interesting.
That's awesome.
But in exploring more of that at a deeper layer this year,
Mhm.
I feel like my relationships have grown. I've listened to my horses more. I've asked them for fewer things.
Mhm.
And the training has not only not slowed down, but I think the quality of it is better.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's one thing that you had to change about yourself in order to be able to do that? Or was there like an aha moment, something that happened where you went, wait a minute, I got to change this?
Well, the thing that I became aware of that was getting in the way of me being able to have the relationship that I really wanted to with my horses
Mm-hmm.
was the awareness of the weight of my perception or imagination of what other people's expectations of me are.
Mm.
It was further down in my subconscious than I realized, but it was weighing on me. So as I was in relationship with this horse and making different decisions and listening to what they didn't want to do,
Mm-hmm.
I started to recognize some background noise of, well, if I'm a trainer, I should be or I need to, this should be, and I was like, please be quiet. So that's one of the lessons for myself,
Mm-hmm.
is to recognize when my brain is imagining what other people expect of me.
Mm.
And first of all, acknowledging it, and then, saying bye-bye.
pretty powerful.
Thank you.
And hard to do.
Thank
right?
you for that information that I don't need, because it's hard enough figuring out oneself,
Yep.
but to try to be figuring out what other people want of me is there's no positive purpose to that I can see.
That's awesome. That's a very powerful lesson.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
So we're moving from 2025, the year of the snake, into 2026, the year of the horse. So what is one thing, or maybe more than one thing, that you want to shed, that you don't want to take with you, that you are just ready to leave behind?
It's exactly what I was just saying. It's like once I have that awareness that program is running in my mind, kind of in the background under my radar, now that it's on my radar, I'm like, it doesn't serve me not one bit to try to imagine what I think other people are expecting of me and trying to live up to some imaginary thing. Of course, we can have mentors that we choose and someone go, hey, this is a great goal for you to achieve. That's still going to apply, but it's the background script of, I don't know what, I'm not choosing whose opinion I'm listening to. Something in my subconscious is imagining that there's somebody I need to listen to, and it's so much wasted energy. And it only, what I've learned is it only serves to make me feel worse about myself. So I am choosing to give up that practice of running that subconscious tape. So the biggest thing is to stay aware of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I read a book by Frederick Dodson recently, and he said that habit is only a habit until you become aware of it. Once you're aware of it, it's a decision that you make every time, which is kind of challenging to take in. But
it's true.
It's true. Awareness is powerful.
Thoughts happen to us from this brain of ours, but it doesn't always. It sometimes is well intentioned, but it doesn't always serve us, and we have a choice of what thoughts to engage in. So, I love finding things. I love finding background scripts and then going, I'm on to you. And I call them little brain gremlins. I go, hello, Miss Brain Gremlin. Thank you so much for that really useless thought.
That's awesome, because that doesn't make you judge yourself, or, we can get down on ourselves when we realize. So that's a lovely way to reframe that into something.
When you can be aware of it and realize this is just a thought happening to me. Same with emotion. Like, I'm not upset. I'm feeling upset, and just like separate it out and have that awareness. And now we have a choice. There's me and there's this thing that's happening. This energy flux that we call emotions, or this thought coming in that wasn't invited, but, it's there. But, I sometimes like to think of the thoughts like little bubbles. Oh, you're good. Let's play with you for a little while, but it's possible to become masters of how we deal with the thoughts. We can't just get rid of thoughts. The thoughts are happening, but we can watch them go by and decide which ones we want to play with and which ones we want to pop.
That's beautiful.
I think. Yes, I can't say I'm mastered
That's
it.
fine. We'll talk again next year.
Check with me next year and we'll see how I'm doing.
That's awesome. So I'm curious, of course, about your goals going forward into 2026. Are you more of I set resolutions, I set goals? What kind of goals do you set? Do you have a process? And what are they?
Yeah, in years past, I had this ritual that I used to really love. And I would sit down every New Year's and I would write the story of the next year as if it had already happened, right? So I'd write about 2026 as if it was New Year's 2027, and I would tell the story of what happened in the year. And I actually really love that process. It can be really powerful to do with your non-dominant hand.
Yeah.
Because you get little different answers.
And it could take a long time.
Yeah, and it can be really good to go back and look at past years and be like, and so I sat down to do it this year, mostly thinking, well, this is my ritual, so I'm going to do this thing. I didn't really feel like I wanted to, but I'm like, well, this is the ritual I do. And I sat there with the blank page for a while and nothing came. And so then I thought, what's wrong with you? You should This is your ritual.
You should
And
know
I
how
was
to do
like,
it.
Thank you, Miss Brain Gremlin. I'll
That's
consider
awesome.
that. But and then I just stopped and I just wrote one word on the page and I just said freedom.
Oh,
And I closed the book. And I thought, you know, this is really the theme for this year, is kind of this spaciousness where I don't have to decide. But I've been really focusing on presence and spaciousness and sort of handling the things that are right in front of me and trusting that if I'm really present and I handle things in front of me, you know, let's be curious about what happens. And there's a quote from Lao Tzu, so an ancient Chinese philosopher, that says, nature never hurries, yet all is accomplished.
yes. It's beautiful.
And I can be, you know, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. I'm like, I'm on it. I'll get it done. I've built a lot. And I've spent, you know, the last 15 years for sure, going on 20, of like, you know, let's create, let's give, let's share, let's put, you know, build. And I'm tired, but it's a kind of a nice kind of tired, because I just want to let that go and give myself time and space to see what happens. So I'm really trying to be in the vertical plane a little bit more, rather than where am I trying to go, what am I trying to do, what am I trying to accomplish. But with that said, I have certain projects that pop up out of this spacious energy, and then we handle them and we get them done. But I don't know beyond this project in front of me where it's going to go. And at first that felt a little odd, and there was some self-judgment of like, I should make goals and I should have a plan, and you know. And but I've been focused a lot on this in 2025, and so going into 2026 I was able to just go, or we just be present, handle what's happening right in front of me, and if we keep doing that, then the things will be handled.
That's
Whatever
great.
they may be. And I'm open to being surprised.
Open to being surprised. That's kind of like freedom.
Well, we like the
Right?
surprises we like, right?
Well, yeah.
But-
Open to
no,
good surprises.
I am. I'm open to being surprised. But, you know, in saying that, I have to know, you know, that means the stuff I don't like too. But I think going into I have to be open, because, you know, who am I to say what it's, you know, good or bad? Or I'm really trying to just relax into everything and not fight. And that's part of you had said, you know, some mental, emotional, and physical things that, you know, we're doing. One of the things for my physical is the rider body reset, and I'm loving your work, because it feels so much based in, and I'm probably going to describe this wrong, but for me, I'm finding all the areas where I can let go. And there's areas where I need to do a little something, but it feels like you're really starting with find the areas and find ways to let go, and that can open up for things to happen. And I just feel like it blends so much with where I am mentally and emotionally wanting to be, of just finding the openness and the ease, and then doing just the things you need to do.
Alignment creates freedom.
Alignment
Freedom of
creates
movement, but
Mhm.
also freedom in our life to just flow with trusting that life is a happy, great thing. Awesome.
So I'm also really curious then to hear, like, how has that changed, the way that you train your horses or work with your horses? And, or also, like, how do you foresee that maybe changing in 2026? It sounds like you feel like you've already done some of that and it's actually been great. But, most horse people have goals for what they want their horse to be able to do, what they want to be able to do with the horse. And I'm imagining it in your past life, you've had that as well.
Yeah, I think that's, again, I'll say interesting. It's this interesting duality almost of like accepting of whatever is happening in front of you, but you also want to end up somewhere. So I tend to want to go, all right, what direction am I heading? You know, what's the general direction? Am I going this way towards this sort of thing, or am I going this way to this sort of thing? I have a real sense of my own principles and priorities, and I think it's really important that people have their own principles and priorities. I want to go here, but not at the expense of X, Y, and Z, you know, not at any cost. Like, well, what are your decision points around there? So you know where you want to go, and then you have your principles and priorities that you don't want to violate. And then the best kind of training you can do is I want to go there, but actually I'm right here now. And is my exit in a quarter of a mile or 250 feet? Is it a sharp left? Or like you have to be here in this moment. You can't just go, I'm going there and then trip over everything on the way.
Yeah.
If you just look here, you're not going to know necessarily where you're going. So I totally think it's possible to kind of have an essence of where you want to go and know why. Know why. Because sometimes we want to go there because we think it's where we're supposed to go.
Or what other people might expect
Or what other
us
people
to.
might expect. So review, like, really? Is that really what you want to do? And then, you know, you look at what's actually happening in front of you with your horse. And you look at what maybe the next step on the ladder is. And if you're not sure what the next step is, you hire a professional and go, we need to do this. You know the exercises you're having me go through. We need to do this one first. And then, so you get that information and then you stay in the moment and you just take that step. So I think sometimes people are so focused on the goal, they're tripping over what actually is happening. Like, can you tell your horse actually doesn't want to go in the arena? And you're trying to perfect your shoulder in. Like maybe there's something we missed here. On the other hand, you know, if you don't have a goal, you're not, you know, you're going to be fiddling around.
Right.
But you'll never bother. You know, you need shoulder ins in order to do that. You know, so I think it's totally possible to have a direction you want to go, educate yourself on the steps, and then it's your job to stay in the moment because that's the only place that everything happens. It's the only place you can train your horse and to really see your horse this day. And then, okay, what do we need to know? Do we need to educate you on something? Do we need to build your coordination on something? Do we need to learn a new movement? Do we need to strengthen? Do you need to go have fun today? You know, to build the relationship so that tomorrow you're happier. I think it's totally possible to have goals and be in the moment.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, so going into 2026, if there was something that you could share with the riders, something you could give them, a word, a thought, an idea, what would it be?
All kinds of things.
All right.
I mean, for me, based on what I was just explaining, what's really important is to have a ritual of presence. So my habit is that I commit to creating rituals for presence. So, you know, some people have a ritual of I'm going to meditate. I'm like, why? Right? So to know why you're doing what you're doing, it's not to meditate. For me, I meditate to become more present.
Nice.
I don't have to meditate. Sometimes I'm doing your exercises and it's having me become more present when I'm doing my 5 minutes relaxing into a position. That's a moment of presence. It could be out walking in the woods. So whatever the ritual is that you create rituals for me, it's for presence, sacred horse time, sacred me time that are non-negotiable. So that's my gift to me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. My word is, well, I had 2 words, but they're related. We already talked about it. It's like presence and freedom.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of presence. Why? Freedom. Freedom. How? Presence.
That's awesome.
So they just really go together. But I would say my word is presence, but I'm going to honor what came out when I sat down in front of my journal for the year. And that's the word that dropped on the page. So I think that's my remembering why I want to be present.
It's what your heart is telling you, isn't it?
Yeah. And then there was a quote I wanted to share, and I wrote it down. I have my message for riders. I love the poem. I don't know if you know it, Desiderata. There's a poem, it's an old poem, Desiderata. It's by Max Ehrmann. And it's for everyone. It's not he wasn't a horse rider, but it certainly applies.
Mhm.
But there's one line that I want to share because, it's riding takes such focus, and it's so easy to feel not good enough.
Yes.
And I think in part because of our big responsibility we have to horses, and in part because things don't always work out the way we want.
True.
Lameness, whatever.
Mhm.
But it's this, and this is part of a longer poem. Beyond a healthy discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I'll look that up and I will make sure to post it underneath this video.
It's
That's
my
really
it's my
beautiful.
kitchen sink poem. It's this right there,
Mhm.
and it's long, but like you can just randomly read just about any line from that poem, and it's amazing life advice. So
Mhm.
that's what I wanted to share.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. This has been so inspirational and lovely, and it feels like we've been in the present moment.
Awesome. Thank you for the great questions.